train taking off from Nairobi. And we are now going to cross over to Syokimau, where we are joined by Malika Kazia, just to give us an update of what it looks like now. One of the things, Malika, that had been predicted is mass exodus from Nairobi to other counties. Is that the case on the ground? And maybe just to bring us up to speed with what it's like in Syokimau.
A very good morning indeed. Yes, we are in Syokimau at the Nairobi terminus. The Madaraka Express is all ready to take off. It's supposed to go at exactly 8 a.m. And of course, you know, these schedules are very tightly maintained. We've got all the passengers in there and they have to wear their masks. In fact, from the point that you come in, you have to maintain 1.5 meters of social distance at all times. We've seen hand washing stations. We've seen sanitization being made a priority. We've seen the guard dogs making sure that all the baggages are checked. And right now, for this maiden passenger flight from Nairobi to Mombasa, we have seen that there are over 400 passengers who've booked and who are taking this journey. So what is exactly going on right now? We are waiting for this train to start moving, and it should be in just a moment. As we've seen, even when we took a tour inside, we saw that there is social distancing being maintained. In fact, the trains are being operated at 50% capacity to ensure there is a seat between each person. There's no congestion, there's no lack of space. And here we go. I believe that it's just about to start moving. So I'm going to request my camera person to actually pan and show you what's going on. You can see passengers seated through the windows as well. Everybody waiting to go ahead and take this journey. Now, of course, you'll remember that when the president had, ordered that cessation of movement between the counties of Mombasa as well as the Nairobi metropolitan area at that time, that a lot of people had to halt maybe many business operations, a lot of other family obligations as well. So we have talked to some of the passengers already in there, and many of them say that they're going for business, especially those who are going to seek out opportunities like jobs. In fact, a young man we spoke to said that he has been waiting to go ahead and begin his job for many, many weeks now, and he's actually very happy that he's able to go ahead and do that. Online work can be, to some point restrictive for people like him, who he said is an interior designer. And so a lot of optimism around the fact that they're able to move now. And of course, there's also been somewhat anticipation of better economic times ahead from the people we've spoken to. They say that, yes, we have started now, but we hope to see better days. Our businesses pick up and things, go a bit more smoother as the days go by, even though a few of the restrictions, as we've seen, have been eased. But there's a long way to go, many of them have said. And so, yes, like I said, we're here at the Nairobi terminus, the Madaraka Express, with its passenger resumption trains right here. And so we are waiting for this train to actually begin to move. And it's supposed to get to Mombasa approximately around 1 p.m. and it's supposed to leave at 8. We're seeing it's exactly 8 now. Well, let's see. We've got the clock right there as well. And it's supposed to start moving. So like I said, we're just waiting
Malika,
for that to happen. We're also seeing a lot of families traveling.
Yes, just to get your feeling of how strict the enforcement is. You did mention that you have stations where you can wash your hands. And of course, we imagine that everybody would have to have their temperatures checked with a temperature gun. But did you feel that the level of enforcement is convincing for yourself?
Well, Michael, yes, I actually thought that they're being quite stringent at the moment, because even when it comes to the distance in the lining up of passengers, they're being, watched closely. They're being advised to keep on keeping that distance, even through the sound system throughout the train as well as across the station. And I feel like they are definitely doing the best that they can. We have seen that the hand washing is necessary. We've seen the temperature temperature check in place. We've seen the social distancing markers as well. In fact, you're advised not to cross certain lines and to stay in certain areas. They've also segregated, of course, the genders so that when you're checking in with your baggage, you have separate areas. In fact, when you come upstairs, you've got a full suited person who's checking your temperature before you go towards the terminal once again. So there's constant checking, and as much as we can tell, there is very stringent, outlook for who can actually. In fact, we do know that one of the coaches has been isolated. So in case there's a passenger who's come this far who has a high temperature and they think is, someone who may pose a risk, they are kept in an isolated coach. There's one coach that has been kept separately for people who pose a supposed risk.
All right, Malika, thank you very much. We'll catch up with you later on, maybe to get more updates. But that is Malika Kazia, who's at Syokimau SGR station. We're waiting for the maiden train that leaves Nairobi for Mombasa after the lifting of the restrictions from county to county. And from what she tells us, we see that restrictions are being carried out. There's, of course, social distancing, washing of hands, there's checking. So we'll come back to you later on. But maybe coming back to studio, and Honorable Mtambo, as we wind up, what is your message to Kenyans?